in the right direction.
All right, so it's just me and you, the Tea and Juice show. Let's see if Terrell jumps in. Robert's not going to make it.
Yeah.
So, he did want me to pass on a message, though, since he's not going to be here.
Oh, did
He
he?
said that, yeah, he gave Ghost of Tsushima a second chance in secret, and now he says it's the best Sony first party game that they've ever made. He just wanted me to tell everybody. So he just was in the wrong mindset apparently when
Okay.
you know. So also he replayed Ocarina of Time and he rescued Epona and
These are the things that happen when you don't show up to the podcast.
so anyway, I got I've been playing a game, picked it up last week. I mentioned I was gonna get it, and I had a revelation. It seems so freaking obvious now. I can't believe it. But I want to pick up. I don't want to start there. Dark Souls. I got the remaster, PS4. Yeah, man, that's even the PS4 remaster. It's still the ugliest game I think I've ever seen on my PS4. So Bloodborne is no longer the ugliest
Really? I
game.
thought I thought it was that was rectified in this
I mean, they
remaster.
cleaned it up, but it's still like they can only do so much. Like there's some areas that like my eyes were watering because it just looks so
They can only do
it's
so much of this. Like let's
seventh
just.
it's a seventh gen game. They improved some of the textures, but there's some areas I'm
I
just
thought
like
it was a remake. It's not. It's
no,
just a
the
remaster.
remake was Demon Souls.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
Demon Souls. So it's the fifth From Software game I'm playing, and it's to piggyback off last week's kind of like talk about sequels. Clocked it said I said something outrageous before I was talking about Diablo 2. He never clarified. I was basically just trying to say I understand why people still prefer Diablo 2 based on the people I've talked to because the third game was like a lesser game and it's not like they reinvented the wheel. It's a similar obviously it's a direct sequel. It's the same type of game but less stuff than 2 had because 2 built up over time. It was just a lesser version, so I didn't blame people for sticking with 2. And when it comes to Dark Souls, I didn't play this one first. A lot of people did, but it's so obvious the DNA from Elden Ring. Demon Souls came first, but Elden Ring and Demon Souls and Dark Souls are just like the same DNA there. Like, yeah, they made improvements. They've refined things. It's Bloodborne and Sekiro the only like ones that are. Sekiro's way like the biggest outlier. It's completely different combat. Same kind of concept though. And then Bloodborne's similar, but just the style and everything's it just feels a lot different. And I'm playing this game and I'm like I'm so glad like this isn't my favorite in the series because it rough around the edges at times. There's like this ridiculous input latency that that they kind of I feel like they sped it up in the later games because like I got knocked down a couple nights ago. I died
Oh, yeah.
and I had my 14,000 souls, which would have got me another level, probably 1.5 levels. It wasn't quite 2 levels. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go get that back, and I'll probably be done for the night. And the first freaking guy in this whole row of enemies that I got through easily, this first big troll guy comes up, and I was just not far enough away. His hit knocks me down, and I thought I was gonna fall off. There's nothing you can do when you're laying on your back. This game has a really long lag between getting knocked down and getting back up. Like it feels like it's the longest to me in this series. I hit as soon as I got knocked down. I hit the dodge button just out of panic because felt like I was gonna fall. Gets slowly gets up, like a half second later, and then my dodge roll goes, and I rolled off the edge, losing my 14,000 souls. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I pressed that button forever ago." Like and I just turned the game off. I didn't play it for a couple of days. But this one is a beloved game in the series. Like it's the first one for a lot of people. And there's one guy I watched a video on. He has 900 hours in the game, like legit playing the game and I'm like, I get why people. It's got the DNA of the other games I like, but like it's my least favorite so far. Obviously, Demon Souls got the remaster, remake, whatever. It's the same. They didn't change the code. It's the same code, so the mechanics are the same. They just cleaned up the visuals and presentation and stuff, and some quality of life. And this has quality of life stuff. I don't know what the quality. I think the original Dark Souls, you had to go all the way back to the same spot to level up, and they changed it so you could level up at any of the like fire. What do you call them? Campfires, whatever. They're called different things in different games. So imagine, I can't even imagine having it'd be like Metroid Prime where you could only save back at your ship. Every time you wanted to save or do something, get a missile expansion, you had to go back to your ship. Like, that's how the original was. Obviously, they fixed it. And I'm like, I don't know how anybody could have played Elden Ring or I don't know, Dark Souls 3 maybe, I guess, has some improvements, or the Demon Souls remake, and still say, yeah, I'd rather go back and play Dark Souls. I just can't even comprehend it. But I guarantee you, there's people that feel that way because it was the first game they played, and it has everything that probably, it's very nostalgic, and they like a lot of the stuff. But I'm just like, there's no way, like, after the later ones came out, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't go back and play this game. I would definitely go back and play Bloodborne. I would, on my second playthrough Elden Ring, I was like, I'm never going back. When I finish this game, I feel like at this point, there's no way I'm ever going back to it. But one of the other kind of revelations I had, and I got this, I don't know, I didn't mention this. I started my second playthrough of Bloodborne because I knew this game was getting shipped. So I was like, you know what, let me just get back into that mindset. So I played a little Demon Souls a couple weeks ago, and then after the podcast last week, I played about 3 hours of Bloodborne on a New Game Plus, and I get something that I didn't get before that I thought was stupid initially, especially when I first played Bloodborne. And I know you're kind of struggling with these games. They haven't hooked you. And, that's fine. The thing about Bloodborne initially that drove me nuts was I was like, I attacked a dude. I thought he was an enemy. It turned out he was an NPC. And once you hit him once, there's nothing you can do. Every time you go into that area, he attacks you. And and he's very challenging. He becomes like a boss. And he killed me, 20 times. And finally I killed him, and I talked to someone, maybe clocked it. And he's like, oh, that guy's a great NPC. That leads to a really cool storyline quest. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I killed this guy. He's gone forever. Like, what the hell? And then he told me about some other items and stuff you can't get at a certain point. And I'm like, that's just stupid. I don't understand. Like, why would you make a game where you can just ruin it for yourself? And I'm on my second playthrough. I think I might have started it back then, but I barely got anywhere. So I restarted my New Game Plus. And I found an area that I didn't find my first time through. I found a shortcut back to somewhere, and I was like, I talked to that guy, and I'm like, you're not supposed to play the perfect playthrough on your first time. These games with Demon Souls, replayed out. Elden Ring's a bit ridiculous because of how large it is, a big open world. But these more structured, not linear, but a lot of the worlds are connected. A lot of the level areas you end up finding a door and it takes you back, and all of a sudden you're in the beginning area. And that's happened in Dark Souls quite a bit. They want you to play these like through the game multiple times. They don't want you to. You're not supposed to find everything and do everything the first try. And I didn't accept that. I thought it was a flaw. I thought it was a bad game design. And to some people it still might be. But now I just kind of think it's actually brilliant because it's really good at replay value for one. And when you're not struggling as much figuring out, you can get through them a lot quicker in your second playthrough. I don't know what speedrunners do, and I'm like, you know what? I think these games are like the ultimate trust the gamer. Like I don't always say it out loud, but I think often when I play these games that just like spell out the answer, like Days Gone, one of the biggest things that annoyed me was just like every it told you where to, like, you're on a platform, talk to a guy, and you start the mission. It tells you to get to the stairs. You get to the stairs, Tells you get to go to the bottom of the stairs. You go to the bottom of the stairs. I forget what kind of indicator it was. Some kind of indication. Horizon did. I turned that off. The footsteps that show you where to go constantly. And I'm like, I don't need. I just want to like kind of figure out where I need to go sometimes. And a lot of these games just tell you. And some of them you can turn off, some you can't. And I'm like, they just trust you to like figure it out. And the games they're designed that way. It's almost like another revelation I had. It's almost like, in a way, like a Metroid style game. Like, yeah, it's not a new ability, but when you get a key after defeating a boss, you get a key to like a dungeon door, and you're like, yeah, there was that locked door. Now you go into that door, and it takes you to a whole new area. So it's almost like instead of a new ability, you get an item, get a key or whatever, and then it can take you to the next area. So thought I was stuck. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I was like, and I found like a fog door and a boss. I was like, all right, I probably need to beat this boss because I've literally gone everywhere I could possibly go. Locked doors here, locked door there. Everywhere I've gone. All right, so I know I have to beat this boss. And then I beat the boss, and I was like, go across this great bridge. And I'm like, all right, now there's a couple options. Oh, that's a locked door. Oh, this bridge is blocked by a dragon. All right, where do I got to go? And you got to explore. Oh, I found a little some steps off to the side that go underneath the bridge. It's just like, it's designed that way to figure out where you got to go. And I'm just like, I've always liked the games. Like I was really surprised how much I like Bloodborne, but I feel like I've got a new appreciation for them now. And I was like, I don't know, I just feel like that is like the charm is for me personally. And one of my favorite NES games, by the way, is kind of what these games are based off of. The Legend of Zelda, the original. So a lot of people don't seem to have it very high on their list, but to me it's up there with the Zelda games. And yeah, that's a bit too much freedom, I guess. But if you watch the video of the Wilson 108, he made the mistake of having his girlfriend play it without looking at the manual because he didn't know. The manual tells you what all the items are. It has a map of the overworld. That's what, you didn't just go in completely blind if you bought the game. The manual had a map and it told you all the items that were in the game. Even the start screen, if you don't hit the start right away, it shows you all the items that are in the game. So like you need some, I would say the Souls games don't do that because they don't have manuals and stuff. They really do just say you got to figure it out. Now, there are some stuff that it should tell you. Like, they should tell you how some of the stuff works. It's kind of, I would call it a negative to have to go online to watch a video and say, what does this stat mean? What does it do? Stuff like that. But, yeah, overall, lots of people love Zelda 1. I'm just saying, when I talk to people about, like, their favorite Zelda games, Zelda 1 is usually not, like, super high on people's list. Like I would say it's usually not in the top half. It's like around the middle to lower half for people. That's what I've noticed. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of people just haven't played it, or they feel like it's too hard to go back to play, or not hard, but too archaic, too old to go back.
Well, Cactus never even beat it. Like he's just like he's not.
Oh, really?
Now I will admit, on the Wii Virtual Console. Or 3DS. It was 3DS or Wii Virtual Console. So, 2011-ish, maybe. Maybe it was the Wii Virtual Console. Maybe it was earlier. I decided to play The Legend of Zelda, the original. The only other time I played it was at my friend's house. He lived 4 houses down. He let me play it. I beat the game back in the day. And I hadn't played it since. And I said, you know what, let me just watch a video like the first things you should do in The Legend of Zelda. So I can't say I learned all this stuff myself. And what he did, he showed a path to the right along the water. You kill enough enemies, you get enough rupees. There's a shop, you buy the bombs first. There's like, in a pretty tight vicinity, there's hidden bomb spots that give you hearts, full heart pieces. So there's 2 right around on that path, and then there's a third heart. I want to say it's right before you go up the stairs to get the white sword. So you need 5 hearts to get the white sword, the steel sword. He's like, you just do that first, and then the rest of the game just kind of it makes it a lot more bearable, a lot easier, quote unquote. And so I watched that video, like we're talking, 18, 17, 16 years ago, however long it was. And I did that, and I was like, oh, that worked. So when I replayed it earlier this year on the NES version, I didn't rewatch that video, and I don't remember where those bomb spots were. But what I did was I just got the bombs, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start bombing. I kind of have a slight memory of maybe some of the areas, and I just bombed, and I found some secret bombs. Some you go in and the dude takes rupees from you, and, So I was like, oh shit, I found it, and then I go in there, and he took 80 rupees for blowing his door up or whatever, burning the bush. So I just figured I found it. I would say more organically. I had the strategy already, but I found it, got the heart pieces, got the white sword, and then I just winged it. I found like the 7th dungeon first or something. I was like, yeah, I'm not going there, and I knew the first one's the easiest, but I mean after that, like 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just found them, and I just played the game, and I was telling Robert, like, I had to bomb this spot in this dungeon. There's no crack in the wall that lets you know there's a bombable spot. He's like, that's stupid. I would never do that. I would look that up or whatever. I don't remember exactly what he said. I know he said it was dumb, and it wouldn't be something he's like interested in doing. And I said, you know what? The game.
Did somebody tell you?
No, how I figured it out was before you get, either I got the map or before you get the map, you bring up the map. It shows you the rooms.
That's right. Yeah,
it shows you the rooms you were in these squares, and I'm like,
right.
Or I was on the map. I was like, there should be a place to go.
There's something over here.
So there's like 3 rooms where there's probably going to be a spot to bomb, because there's a hollow spot in between. So I went to the 3 rooms. Of course, it was the 3rd room, and I had to bomb up, and there you go. And I'm like, the game has been training me. I don't know how many hours I played, but I was just so used to planting bombs randomly. You upgrade your bomb, you get to hold more later on. I have 12 bombs or whatever I have. Like, if I'm walking on in an area, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna place some bombs here, and I just got in that habit, and I just got through the game. There was one item I couldn't find, and the only reason I looked for it is because I watched after beat the game and everything. That's when I figured out that it told you what items were in the game, and it was like what was it, a cloak or something, and I'm like, I never got that item. I don't know what it does, and so I was just curious. I was like, the sucky thing is once you beat the game, it forces you into the, what do you want to call it, the remixed version. You have to like erase it and start over to get the original layout, because it gives you the Master Quest basically version once you beat the game the first time. If you don't start over, then everything's scrambled. So I was like, I'm just gonna look up to see where that was, and it's just like you could just go to it from the beginning of the game. You touch like I don't remember if it's a little like a soldier statue or like a gravestone or something. You touch it and then the guy moves, and then there's a stairway, and you just go down there and you get whatever it is. So that's the only thing I looked up at the end, and I was just like, and I felt really proud of that. Like, yeah, I still had that. I looked up that guide from however many years ago. I still had that in my mind, but just getting through the game. So anyway, The revelation I had earlier was like, yeah, I love Zelda, the original Zelda. And I know some people, it's not their favorite, and I'm like, they're very similar. And I know, I remembered the creator of Dark Souls and stuff, he said that Zelda was an inspiration. And I guess I never really felt that, but I was just like, man, like, I really do appreciate this. Is like my type of game. And then my third revelation was something I can't believe I didn't think of this. So let me ask you, what does this game and this movie have in common? Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay. I think I know.
So what do you think?
Oh, well, you live, die, repeat. So you you learn.
Yep,
You're gonna die, and that's
exactly.
how you progress is by dying.
And another movie I just recently watched that I really loved, Happy Death Day.
Ah,
And one of my favorite PlayStation games of all time, Returnal.
mm.
I'm like, how did I never put it together that I like games that follow the Groundhog Day formula?
The Groundhog Day formula. Yeah.
Like, and I love these two movies. Groundhog Day I love, but I've seen it so many times as a kid on TV that I never actually bought the movie. I watched it all the time on cable TV, so I've seen it
Mm.
who knows how
Yeah.
many times. Um, and I'm like, holy shit! But Hades didn't do it for me, even though it has a similar formula. But Dark Souls in particular, there was a moment. So after that death I was telling you about, next time I played it 2 days later, I couldn't get past that. First, he's like a large troll guy with a club. Earlier that night, I was just breezing through those guys. All of a sudden, I turn it back on. I couldn't get past the first guy. I bet I died 5 or 6 times to the first one. And there's 3 of them in a row. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why can I not get past this guy? Like, what happened in 2 days that I cannot get by this guy I was breezing past? And then after, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 deaths, whatever it was, I was like cussing. I was getting mad. I finally beat him, and I was like, all right, well, the next guy. And I was like, you know what? These guys are really slow. He takes this long time to swing. I don't know if you know this in these games. If you get behind an enemy with a light attack, you do like a super. It's called like a stagger, or some different games call it different things. It's like in Breath of the
Oh
Wild
yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
when you
seen
sneak up on bokoblins at night while they're sleeping, you can do the stealth attack,
yeah.
and it's like 4 times the damage.
Hmm.
You can do that to any enemy you get behind and directly behind them and use a light attack. I was like, you know what? This guy's slow and cumbersome. Let me just circle around him. I'll keep my distance if he's about to do a move because the dodge it's a little less lenient than the later games.
So it's not a stealth thing. It doesn't matter.
No.
If he
So
saw
then
you
I
or
just I mean it works in stealth. It's harder to pull off in stealth.
not.
So
Yeah.
you just like I'm just like shield up, circling the guy, and when he does his swing, and when he finishes his swing, I'm right behind him and do this. I mean, you still have to take. I think he still takes another single hit after that, maybe 2 hits. And I'm just like breezing these guys, and I instantly thought of Edge of Tomorrow when Tom Cruise started off. First, he could barely turn off the safety, and then he's training that training montage with the swinging robot things just to try to train. And by the end, he's just like nonchalant.
Not
And I'm
even
like,
thinking about it.
I'm like, that's just what just happened to me. Of course, after that, then I hit another roadblock with a group of these other like I would call they're very troll like this would be more like a orc, like a smaller orc. Then there's these little fire dogs, and I just kept dying over and over for probably 20 minutes. I couldn't get past this area, and I just figured it out. Obviously, I learned the patterns. I learned what mistakes I was making. The other issue I would say about this game that I felt more than any other, it's very random. It's your day starts over, your cycle, it's not a full cycle, but you refresh, you die, or you sit at the bonfire, and enemies all go back to the same spot. But every once in a while, an enemy that you never encountered will all of a sudden be behind you, and you're like, where did this guy come from? Like I've watched guys get stuck on the wall. There's an area where a dude keeps climbing the ladder and keeps slipping down. He can't get to the top, and you just watch him. I just stood there watching for a minute, and then another time he got up the ladder and surprised me. So it's like, it's a little random sometimes, but just like, I was like, how did I not put these games together with Edge of Tomorrow, Groundhog Day? Like, I never like consciously thought that. So I'm like, I don't know. That just made it even cooler for me. As much as like Dark Souls is a bit rough, and it is challenging. I just can't stop playing it. Like, I played Metroid Prime for about an hour in portable mode yesterday, watching football, and I was like, man, ever since I started Dark Souls, I can't think of anything else. I just gotta keep getting, trying to get further and further, and it's like, it's just addictive. So, I thought it was pretty cool though. Earlier today, when I had that epiphany, I was like, it seems so obvious.
Makes a lot of sense.
It seems so obvious.
Yeah, now I'm sure it does. Like, oh,
But
yeah,
I can
sure.
understand. Like, I still remember when I played Demon Souls on the PS3, and my buddy Tim didn't tell me, and he just brought it in. Here, you're gonna play this. You got a PS3 now. You're gonna play this game. He didn't tell me anything about it, and I still remember, because obviously in the remaster it looks way better, but I remember the first area. You have this huge castle. You're outside. There's two huge doors, and your only option is to go left. And there's a guy with a crossbow, and dudes hiding around corners. And they kept surprising me, and then get up to the top, and it's like Helm's Deep, the edge, the edge of the wall. You're up there, you're battling dudes, and this same like armored knight asshole, he's way overpowered. It just means you're not supposed to go that way yet, and I just kept going that way, dying, and I got pissed. I turned the game off, and I never played it again until I got the remaster. He's still a pain. I still try. Like, I wasted an hour trying to kill that guy, just being stubborn. Like, I'm gonna beat this guy. Like, I'm gonna kill him, and even though I'm not leveled up enough, I'm gonna kill this guy. And I still remember that.
Were you able to beat a boss like that, or an enemy like that, just by being stubborn as hell? Because I've done that before.
Yeah, there's
satisfying as hell.
Silk Song. I was in an area I knew I was not ready for. I didn't have enough, hearts, whatever you want to call it. I forget what they're called in that game specifically. Like, I think I had like 4 or 5. I think I ended with 7 or 8. I've seen people with more. I didn't find them all. And it was this gauntlet of enemies throwing fire. Like, the ground was fire. I guarantee you I spent probably hour to hour and 20 minutes just because the save point was right by it, so it wasn't too hard to get back to. I was like, there's no way I should be trying this. And I finally got it. And I was like, the reward wasn't anything that great, to be honest. It was just like, here, now you can go to this really hard area with all this lava, and you don't have the move you need. You don't have your double jump or whatever I didn't have. But I was like, screw it. I'm going to do it. Do you have one that you're thinking of?
I can't remember the boss, or it's not a boss. It was just an enemy out in an area. It was in Darksiders 2, some kind of troll or something. And I just was being stubborn. I was like, I'm nowhere near level to fight this thing. But I just kind of, dodge rolled my ass through, and I was able to finish them off. It took a long fucking time. But I got to a point where my timing was so good that I wasn't getting hit back. So, yeah.
YouTube's saying that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Let us know in the comments if I guess I can play it. Let's see how it looks. Looks fine.
Seemed fine last time I looked at it.
Like in the Xenoblade games, there's not really much you can do. If you're not leveled, you're not going to be able to beat. There's not some great strategy. Now, Expedition, with the dodging and counter, you can.
Yeah.
That was another game where I was like, this area, these guys are killing me in one hit, and I'm barely doing damage, like my regular attacks. I was like, there's 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them, they're all the same. And I just like, I'm just going to keep dying until I get the timing of the counter, because if you do a counter, you do heavy damage. And a lot of their moves it's not just one attack you have to counter. They do 5 or 6 string together, and you get in a rhythm. For the first 3 hits are like in the same rhythm. The 4th hit will be a slight delay, like he'll pause right before swinging, and then the 5th hit will come super quick after. And I learned it, and I just sat there. I leveled up like crazy. I just kept going back. That game, same thing. If you rest, all the enemies come back. That's everybody's doing that now, I guess. The Jedi games did that. And I just got the timing down, and I leveled up my characters like probably 4, 5, 6 levels higher just because they were way above me, but I just got the timing of the counter down, and or the parry, I guess. And I like that. Like, I would rather that than just be like, but if you don't design your game, like, you don't want to break a game, or if you can beat something before you're supposed to, like if it's like depending on the game's designed. I would think there's not going to be too many situations where you're going to beat something you're not supposed to in most games, though. Like, they'd have to have some kind of open area and account for that, because there's people going to be able to beat it. Like the opening of all the Souls games, the first boss, you're meant to die. but people beat them with like nothing, like the shittiest weapon, level 1. And I was like, I'm gonna do that with Dark Souls. It's like I got my sword, got my shield. I took the enemies out a bunch of times. I hadn't really died. Go to the boss room. The first time you get to him, you don't have a sword. You have a broken sword. So I just ran to the door, and then you get your shield and your sword. All right, kill a bunch of enemies. All right, I got it down. I go to the boss. All right, here we go. And he comes towards me, and he takes a swing, and I go to the dodge backwards, and I hit like a pillar behind me. And then one of the other flaws of this game is the camera's terrible at times, and I'm locked on, and he got over me. So all I could see was all you're doing is looking up at him because he's a bigger enemy. You can't see your character. I couldn't dodge roll. Whatever way I tried to dodge roll, my character didn't move, whether I was stuck on his foot or something. And he hits me again, and I died. I'm like, so much for my goal of beating this boss. I didn't even touch him. I dodge rolled once, got stuck in a corner. Dodge rolled second time, got stuck, and he killed me. But there are people that do beat the first boss, obviously, after practice and stuff. Let's see, tedium. I wouldn't call it tedium. I guess wouldn't tedium depend on your perspective? Like one person's tedium would be what another person's like practice or drive to get past something. Like tedium to me, I guess I could see why somebody would say that. For me, tedium is like a fetch quest or a simple like dumb fetch quest in a game, or honestly, Animal Crossing to me is more tedium. Like, oh, I gotta go collect.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tedium is almost kind of subjective, because another person's tedium is another person's gold. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's Ubisoft games. There's a lot of tedium in Ubisoft games. I love it. I know a lot of people don't though, and I understand it. It's just like I don't like to do those, those tedious things that Ubisoft games do, but I enjoy them. So
yeah, I don't like
I get it.
Like chore. Feel like I'm doing a chore though. Like I said, that's what bugged me, and even back in the day with Shenmue. Like, oh, I got to go to work and drive this high-low. It just trying to make you feel like a real world, but to me, I was like, I don't want to drive a high-low. Like,
yeah, you literally are sitting there. You're like, I'm driving a forklift. That's you're playing a video game where you have a job of driving a forklift, and that's pretty tedious. But I love that game so much that I was like, oh well. To me, I was like, oh wow, they are that detailed to where they'll put a fucking a job inside of a game.
Wasn't there like
just worked for me?
Like, couldn't you practice your martial arts too? Was that like?
Yeah, you could practice like all the skills and stuff you attain throughout the game. There's certain people, forget who it is, but there's certain people you can just kind of practice with in the game.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, it's frustrating at times because, yeah, so there's some cheap, like, again, I keep bringing this up. Dark Souls has flaws that other games don't have. There's some bullshit. Like, there's an enemy, like, I could make it happen almost every time. They're just like human beings. They're like undead human beings with like a sword. They're really low level. It didn't take long to be able to kill them in one hit. But there's times where if they lunge at you, it don't matter what's in their way. It could be a whole 20 flight of stairs. It could be a piece of, a hill. Those motherfuckers will teleport up there. As soon as they do their animation, it teleports so that they'll be next to you to hit you. It doesn't matter what's in their way. They don't get stuck on it. They just fly through it. And the dude's like Superman. Like, he flew like 15 feet when it's normally, if they're right next to you, they don't even move. They just swing. And because something glitched in the game, they go flying at you. That's bullshit. Like, when you get killed by that, that's a flawed glitch in the game. Most of the other times, like all those deaths I talked about, I was frustrated and stuff. Most of it is something stupid I did. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, why did I dodge into that attack? Why didn't I dodge to the side? oh wait,
Yeah.
I got my shield parry. I haven't shield parried this enemy. You do a shield parry and open them up to a heavy attack. It's something I'm doing wrong. So yeah, it's frustrating at times. I wouldn't call it tedious. I'm just more disappointed in myself than anything most of the time. Like, well, how did I get worse? Like, I'm supposed to be getting better, but just like everything in life, usually things get worse before they get better. You have to
Yeah, if you just leave it alone for a bit, come back,
sometimes.
and you fucking rinse that shit like it wasn't nothing.
But
Next time, so
again, this game does have, out of all the 5 games I've played, has the most like annoying things. There's a boss I found out now. I watched a video like it's one of the most hated bosses in the game. You go through the fog door, and it's also one of the ugliest parts of the game. It's like the worst looking part of the game. It's a very narrow, like in between 2 buildings. There's like grass and a tree, and then some stairs that go nowhere. By the time you get through the fog, the enemy knows as soon as you touch the fog. By the time you can actually control your character, he's coming down on you with his 2 freaking clubs hitting you. There's almost no way around it other than the luck of the draw. The next time I went through, oh wait, he wasn't right there when I got through it. I would say 40% of the times he was hitting me before I had any control of my character. So that's bullshit. I get that. That shouldn't happen. That's just bad. But so many other times I played him, I was just like panicked, and I went greedy with it, tried to get one more hit, and he hit me and killed me instead of healing. You know, there's a lot of stuff it's my fault, and I know there's a lot of people that it's their fault when they die. So I don't find it tedious. I know that that it's a dark time, and that the light at the end of the tunnel, getting through an area, the reward feeling is worth it. Every little frustration for me. So
yeah. That's why I'm surprised. Like I that I haven't like caught on to these games yet. I mean, it's not like I haven't tried. I haven't played Elden Ring yet. Maybe I was thinking Elden Ring might be the one that gets me. Maybe I'll go back into other things once I feel comfortable with that formula.
it's interesting
But
because Wilson 108, his girlfriend Ellie, that's the one she liked the most. But he
okay,
played it, and he did his game of the year. All the games he played from 2025, they're not just 2025 games. I forget if he said 35 or 55. He beat
yeah,
the game 35 or probably 55. I doubt it was 35. And he said he was done. He doesn't want to play the game anymore. And I'm like, I mean, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants.
yeah,
If you say you beat the game and you're done with Elden Ring at 55 hours, you miss so much of that game
yeah.
that it's like at that
Well,
point.
I'm interested because I actually left him a comment about because he's just started Tears, I think, and I left him a comment saying because he was talking about
The
the
dungeons.
dungeons and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
left a
Yeah,
comment and he
and
replied.
oh yeah, you replied to you too. Yeah, he was like um I asked him. I was basically saying that I would be very interested to see what you thought of the, and I put it in quotations, dungeons, and he says, yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah,
let you
those
know
weren't
when
dungeons. Those
yeah.
weren't any
And
more
somebody was
Zelda.
trying to spoil this shit, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Somebody was like, talking about they're definitely a step up from the Divine Beast or whatever. I was like,
Getting
were
to
they?
them, getting to them, is a
Were
couple of
they?
them are
Yeah,
cool. Retro
yeah.
Death and I will probably be on our deathbeds arguing over this because to me there's no difference especially in the sky dungeon or whatever, the wind dungeon. There's no difference from
Especially that one.
finding those 5 or 6 things you had to hit with the gust of wind is no different than going in the Divine Beast and activating the 5 points. It's
When I started doing it, I was like, wow, this
it's
feels exactly
it's
like
the
that. I was
same.
like,
It's
what?
I actually prefer the Divine Beast because those you have to manipulate the
You have to
Divine
figure it
Beast.
out.
Use the
That bitch tells you what to do. It's like, oh, those look like switches I can use the wind for, and I'm like, what?
all you have to do
Why are
is
you telling
find
me
them
to?
really. And there's a bit of
Yeah,
there's some platforming challenges and stuff to get to them. But the Divine Beast, you had to I have to tilt so I can jump and get to this side, or I have to do the trunk so it fills up the water and moves this windmill so I can get up there. Like that stuff to me is way more clever than anything I did in the Tears of the Kingdom dungeons, especially the mine carts in the volcano one, the fire dungeon temple, whatever.
Yeah.
I hated that. I actually cheesed it. I just like found a spot
I
where
cheesed that mine cart. Yeah, I cheesed the shit out
I
of
was
that
like, this was not fun. But anyway,
because
it definitely
it was
wasn't any
boring.
more dungeon than the Divine
It
Beast.
was visually appealing. Other than that, it was just kind
Well,
of boring.
I did like the one for the Zoras. I thought that it was just a big outdoor thing. It wasn't indoor contained, and I was like, to me, that
Hmm.
was I enjoyed that the most out of all of them. I hated
Oh,
the sand one.
I just with the fucking the muddy ass waterfall things.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I enjoyed that. I hated the desert one, because I cheesed that one
Really? See,
too.
I like the desert one. That was the one I probably
That was
liked
so
the
simple, like
most.
um, because I just like I ascended, and I was like,
Yeah,
whatever. I forget exactly what you had to hit. You had to activate something, probably with Reju. I
yeah.
don't
You
remember.
could use a send your ass off.
And then I was
You could
like,
do that.
I found the 3 out of the 4, whatever, 4 out of the 5, and I'm like, where is the last one? And I was like, oh, it's in the same freaking room as one of the others. It's just like, it's just go through a door and look to the right. I'm like, wow, like that
Mm.
was I didn't find it because I sent it up and I couldn't get back down. I didn't just walk in like normal, but that one's right there. Then right above it, you just have to climb up, and I forget what you had to do. You had to hit it with something. I was like, damn, those two were like so close together. But either way, that's a different story. His Zelda Dungeon video, it does. I still prefer 2D games for the dungeons. They just feel more natural to me in 2D. But not saying there wasn't good ones in the 3D games. I just felt like after Twilight Princess, I was like, I'm kind of done with this formula, this Ocarina of Time formula. Well, Skyward Sword changed it up a bit, but like I just remember getting the spinning top in Twilight Princess, and it was used for a cool boss fight. And then it's like the rest of the game, you barely ever use that thing except to maybe find a heart piece. And it was like, wow, that was kind of stupid to have one item that's only useful just for this dungeon and that boss fight. So, not saying that it was trash. I'm just saying by that point, I can admit, like even back then, I remember specifically saying, you know what, I'm kind of this formula is already. I'm kind of ready for something else. So I wasn't just like somebody who thinks that in retrospect. I remember thinking it after I beat Twilight Princess, and especially when I played the HD version, I was like, man, I don't know if I ever want to play this game again. Like that was probably the last time I'll ever play it. I did not. I really didn't enjoy it that much. Um, so anyway, T must be having some kind of issue. So let's see. We just had a DK game praised like Odyssey for literally punching everything to progress. Yeah, gamers do not like clever data. I totally agree. Errors we don't normally agree. I question the term level design in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like John Linneman or whatever, Digital Foundry said it. A bunch of other people. I'm like, there is no level design. It's just a big open area and punch your way, find a moon, or I say moon, find a banana just about everywhere you go. If you don't enjoy punching through stuff, there's not a lot to the game that the game has to offer. To be honest, I feel like there's almost no platforming in that game. It's like it's just punching through the earth or punching up to get somewhere. I still thought it was a decent game. Like, um,
What I who says it's compared to Odyssey?
I don't know. I would say
As
that the
I
only
think
only
you're being a little.
comparison is the abundance of bananas would be like the abundance of moons, and the once I got DK
Right.
leveled up enough, like I don't even have anything else. I didn't even need to level up any of the other stuff. Like I don't use that. Like, um, but I still think Donkey Kong's like it's a solid game. It just wasn't for me. Like it's just I'm not like, oh, it's so badly designed. It's terrible. I just question like the term level design in some of the areas. It was more just kind of you had an open area. If you want to dig and find bananas, you can. Otherwise, you know, you could pretty much just go to where you need to go. Maybe I can't. It's there's a lot of layers. I don't know if you got to it. I can't remember if you beat it yet.
I'm close though.
There's a lot of layers. So I'm not remember. I can't remember every situation. The one that stands out the most was like the first or second area where like it was more. It felt more like a platformer. There's like the water level raised up at one point, and you had access to areas like different platforms you didn't have early on. And I was like, I like that, but there's like the open plains, open field areas where it's just mostly like if you want to dig to find bananas, you can. I don't remember what stopped you in that. Remember, it's the area with like the big, green, like teal colored grass with like a hill that's like a big banana. It's like
Yeah,
the third one maybe.
I think it's the third.
I don't remember what you had to do to like progress in that. Um, I know I did most of like the side missions just because kind of felt like I should. But I don't remember
Yeah.
what stopped you from just progressing right away. Like just
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the prime example of tedium versus like somebody's gold.
yeah.
Is that if you think punching through sand and all this stuff, for me that shit was cathartic as hell, or lethargic. Um, but I can
I don't
understand
think
where
lethargic's not a good term. I think that's
it's
lazy
a
and uninterested.
I think I'm yeah, I'm
It
thinking
would
the
be
wrong word.
like
Um,
cathargic.
like it's something like that, right? I
Yeah,
can't think right now.
lethargic is
But
like if somebody's sick and they're just
yeah,
like
that didn't
down.
sound
And
right once I let it out. I was like, that doesn't really sound right.
what is the
But
proper term though? Somebody let us know.
yeah, you know the term we're talking about. Uh, maybe it's cathartic. Whatever. But yeah, if you're not into that, this game is going to be quite the slog for you,
It
I think.
was, yeah.
Yeah, so I get that. I mean, I wouldn't argue against that with anybody, but some people would, would want to argue with you about these things, and I don't know why, but it's a preference. If you don't like that stuff, you don't like it. So I get it.
One of the other things that no one ever talked about that it's not a game breaker. I just thought it was weird, and it would probably be really difficult to solve.
Cathartic. Thank you, Harrison.
Cathartic.
That's it.
Um,
I was about to look it up.
like the fact that you could punch the bottom of like a of something and it wouldn't fall. It just hovered. I was like, that would be a lot of programming to do the physics of that. But man, that would take it to the next level, to a level maybe that would interest me, where you could set up stuff to crumble. I can't see them doing that for that game, but for another game, that could be cool. But it was always weird to me. Like you take the bottom out and then the top just kind of floats. Um,
Yeah, I wish that wasn't a thing. I wish the actual thing would fall
and I felt
once you
like the
punch.
throwing chunks didn't really amount to anything to like make your own paths. I don't think that really.
Oh, I did. I've been doing that
I did it a couple times,
recently.
but it didn't. It wasn't as. That was tedious.
It takes way too long.
Yeah.
Right. That takes a
And
while.
the
It's like,
gyro with
why
the
does it
Pro
take-
Controller sometimes wasn't working right, and I was like, it's hard to get fine tune aiming. I don't know if that was just a Pro Controller thing or not, but yeah, that seemed like a cool idea. I never tested the like carving, the like sculpture thing. I never
Yeah.
even went to that screen. um,
I did it, but I was there by accident. I was like, what the hell am I doing this? I don't know what I did to get there. I was like, I'm out of here.
but yeah, I mean, that's it's just a different style game. A bunch of people loved it. It was like highly rated, Game of the Year nominees. Obviously, I know I'm in the minority. I'm not like, oh, I'm the only one that's saying everyone else is crazy. I just knew it wasn't ticking the boxes for me. Just like with you, maybe the Souls games never won't. But getting back to Elden Ring, the thing that most people say is the difference maker is, oh wait, there's this impossible boss. Like, I don't want to just keep banging my head against the wall, and then it's like it happened to me. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna head south and see what's there. And I was like probably 10 hours of gameplay in the south, and I just like found this really cool castle. I wouldn't call the castle cool, but approaching the castle was really cool. And then inside, it was a difficult section and a boss, but I was like, wow, what a journey. I just said, you know what? I'm gonna head south. I haven't gone south yet, and Terrell went, I want to say east, and there's a like a red colored area. It's like a really hard area, It would be like the fourth area technically if that you're supposed to be in. Super high, you know, damage enemies. And he tried to push through there, and you know, and then Retro Death, which I think Wilson Ellie, his girlfriend, she did the same thing Retro did. She bypassed the castle and found a ledge where you can jump down and completely bypassed the first two major bosses, that first major castle, and got into the swamplands. Didn't even know that it had happened. Retro Death's like, there's this like awesome looking like academy, like and it's in there's like a force field. It's so stupid. I can't. Why is it blocking me? I'm like, how did you get there in like 5 hours? He's like, what do you mean? I went down this rock face and did this and did that. I'm like, yeah, I was referring to the Capra demon, Prince Revolver. But I'm like, how the hell did you get there? And he told me how, and then I watched the Wilson 108 video. She did the same thing. And I'm like, well, the game lets you. But he was mad at the game for having a force field. I'm like, well, the force field, when you go to it, it tells you what you need. And you actually pick up an item off a dead body. That's a hint to the key you need to get in. And Terrell and Retro both did the same thing. They just picked it up. I watched Terrell do it in a stream. And they didn't like, oh, what did I just pick up? Let me look what that was. That's one of the flaws they fixed with patches, is that it shows you all your new items have a exclamation point next to them. And before that, you just had to like, oh shit, I just picked something up. You have to go to the menus and like search through and see if something stands out to you that that you think maybe you didn't have before. And it was just like, go to this island here. It's like a map, and it's like behind the dragon or whatever. Behind this thing is the key, and it turned out to be a dragon. And I'm like, both you guys picked it up. It told you what to do, but because you didn't read it, now you're blaming the game for blocking you, gating off an area. And I was like, it's not gated off. You just had to do the thing. Dark Souls 3 is the best From Software game. I'm going to play it. We'll see. I hear 2, for whatever reason, people don't like 2 as much. Let's see. Late game power up that makes smashing absolutely redundant. In what? In Donkey Kong?
That's what he's saying.
What? I don't know what he's talking about. Knowing him, I'd say he's probably exaggerating.
Air's exaggerating? No way.
Yeah, I can't. I know when there's games where you get later abilities, it makes earlier abilities irrelevant. But I'm like, I'm in the after credits content, and I have not seen anything I would classify as that.
It looks like Jay is he's backing him up on that one.
So there's something I
something
don't have
you
that.
missed. Yeah, something you missed.
Huh?
Was it like a bazooka, banana bazooka? What is this shit? From the 64?
Yeah, that
coconut
would be
bazooka?
cool. That would actually be more interesting for me.
It's a coconut bazooka.
Wow, Prince Revolver, you platinum Elden Ring? There's no way. I don't know if I have any interest in that. I don't know where I'm at with it, but I don't think I'm that dedicated. I said that about
Platinum.
Returnal, and I got Returnals. That I was looking at my PlayStation recap, and my most played game was it was tied. Returnal, I had 35 hours, and Expedition, I had 35 hours. I was like, shit, I forgot I played Returnal 35 hours this year. That's when I played the not DLC, but that extra mode they added, and I got the Platinum Trophy. And I was like, damn, like that was, first of all, it was a down year for me. 35 hours as my most played game is pretty low, considering the last few years with like Elden Ring was like 180. That year I had a lot. I had like 500 hours that year. I played Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok. I forget what Switch game. I don't know if it was Xenoblade. That was PlayStation, but that year I played a lot. I played like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, all in the same year. That's the year Robert's up to right now is 2023. Not all of them were 2023 games, but I played a lot of games that year. I played a lot of hours. This year was down.
Can't even touch this thing. Why is it so sensitive?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, T.
Oh, my camera.
Oh,
My dongle keeps.
I thought you were talking about your penis.
uh,
So yeah, Expedition. Oh, 46 hours. Sorry. 46 hours in Returnal. Like that's just crazy. And then Silent Hill 2 had 24 hours. Madden 24 hours. The Last of Us Part 1 had 17 hours. I don't like. That was my third time through the game. It's not like I'm like was struggling with all this stuff. Like I know what to
like
do.
a Valley Girl.
I'm just I just like I look everywhere I go. I look in every nook and cranny, try to find resources. 17. I bet you that if Robert looked up the Last of Us time to beat, it's probably like 11 hours or something. And that's probably with watching the cutscenes. I don't know what it would be. And I'm just like 17. Like I don't know. Some games I can't believe the average time to beat versus what it actually takes. I know you and I, we like to make games last a little bit sometimes. Some depends on the game. Like I don't know. I just like
Definitely.
even like I said, Metroid Prime, the first game, my fourth time playing it when the remaster came out. I'm still scanning everything. I'm not just like bypassing.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to. I'm like,
and even like I'm not even
reading
reading them. Like when I'm replaying it, like I don't even read them. I'm just scanning them because why not?
Yeah.
I'm actually doing that. And I actually finally had a cutscene related to the aliens on that planet in Prime 4 that got me interested.
Ah.
It wasn't. I was like scanning everything. I'm like, I'm not reading any cool lore. There's nothing about like in the Prime 1, the Space Pirates were experimenting with Phazon and all that. There's all this cool scientific research you're reading. There wasn't anything comparable. And I'm in the ice region. I get power back on and I go to scan something. I had no idea what it was. And you touch it and it played back. And I don't want to make this as a complaint, but I do feel like this new Retro Studios was just like, well, hardly anybody's left from the Prime games, so let's just play Prime 1, remake it, remaster it, and let's just use that as our template. Guess what the first cutscene, the first interesting scene was in Prime 4? It was these aliens experimenting on an unwilling participant with some kind of mutation thing, and I'm like, oh.
Not Phazon.
So what the Space Pirates were doing that I thought was super cool. I mean, it was the coolest thing so far, but also when I thought about it, I was like, wow, that's very...
This is called Grazon. It's different.
That was very derivative. And I was like, damn it. It was the coolest thing so far story-wise, but also, they just played Prime 1 and said, yeah, let's try to hit some of these.
Hey, again, yes, there is definitely that. I haven't, probably not as far as you are. There's definitely that, but I'm just happy that, because even just copying something is not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Copying somebody's
and I mean,
masterpiece.
it's not like I'm like, oh my god, this game sucks. I was enjoying it. Like, I had fun. Yeah. I just was like, I didn't think about it till later. I was like, oh wait, that's the same thing. But, I'm
just happy that they have the capacity to at least do that with the Prime game.
And I was playing in portable mode, and I was like, that's the first time I played it portably on the Switch 2. I played it on the Switch 1. And I'm like, I was impressed with how good that game looks in portable. Now, the HDR doesn't pop like it does on my OLED, but it still looked really good. And I was like, yeah. This looks like definitely, above PS4 game in my hand. And but let's see. Don't say that, Juice. 100 videos keep telling people Prime 4 has no DNA with the perfection that is Prime 1. I mean, if people are saying that, I can't. Like, why? How could you, with a straight face, say that?
Kind of what I was talking about in my video. I didn't really go into it, but I was seeing videos like that. And I was like, really? Because I feel Prime all over this mother. Like I don't
This
understand.
they definitely said, well, we're gonna stay closer to Prime 1 than 2 or 3. I mean, but
Yeah,
they also have, like,
there's always
again,
been,
the
there's
the
definitely some three in there, obviously, with
people
the
getting
PC
mad
stuff.
about the Federation Force stuff. Like, it's so minimal. It's so, like, and it's for me, like, I think you said the same thing. I like it. Like, I like having
Yeah, I like it.
somebody over my comms. Like, yeah, the writing's not, oh my god, it's amazing, but
Right.
I'm on the second one now, the second Federation troop, and we had to fight off some enemies together. Um, not I don't want to I don't want to keep ripping on it, but
But obviously, if you sit there and let them do it, not much is happening.
no, no.
If you let them do it on their
There's
own,
some
each other
games
look.
though where they actually help you more than others.
Yeah, yeah. This
Trying
is really not one of those.
no, but there is really only one enemy type in the frozen area, and they're not like space pirates like looking, but it's just the same enemy over and over. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not raving about the game because it's not like it's definitely not what Prime One was, and it never was going to be that. But like you said, I'm glad they made it. I'm glad they got their kind of their mojo with this game. It seems so far it's very solid. It's visually stunning. It's just it does. I like we talked about last week. The whole discussion about keeping to something too much the same or changing too much. People are never happy. If you change too much, they're mad. If you keep it too similar, they're mad. And I get it. There's a hard. That's a nearly impossible task to try to add new stuff without it feeling too strange, and then or feeling too similar. Like trying to think of a sequel that does that perfect. Usually it's either like the sequel just refines, or the second game's, in my opinion, a lot of times is the best game. Sometimes the third game's the best, but as they get better. But like Resident Evil 2 was better than Resident Evil 1. Like, but Resident Evil 3 wasn't better in a lot of people's minds. Witcher 2 was way better than Witcher 1, but Witcher 3 blew both those games away, and most people, don't
Yeah.
want to go back. Especially Witcher 1. The Witcher was like watching Robert's videos. Like, this game looks almost unplayable at this point. Like,
Yeah, that
that's
combat system. My God,
two.
I gave up on it.
Two was
Like,
definitely a step up. I was not prepared for a super PC like style RPG style game, and 3 seemed like it gives a little more towards like the action adventure style. Kind of blends together. And a lot of people, I'm sure most people would say 3 is the best game. Maybe somebody would say 2. But with the Prime series, I think they nailed it the first time go around. Now there's some things they added in 2, 3, and 4 that are new, and if they're in Prime 1, it'd make it probably even a better game. So, but for my money, I still think Prime 1's like I'd rather replay Prime 1 than 2 or 3. That's for sure. If I was going to replay a game, but
yeah, I mean, Prime One is easily the most replayable. It's the
but like I can't go back. Like I'm playing through Forbidden West. I keep mixing those up. Zero Dawn, the remaster. But it's a slog. Like it's slow progress. Like because I don't really want to restart Forbidden West because I think I'm over 100 hours in that game now. I got the platinum on that. But Forbidden West is definitely the better game. But it is more similar than different for sure. They just improved for me the melee combat and adding that flying bird. I mean that just to me that cements it. Also like getting to the ocean, like San Francisco, the waves, just the whole atmosphere, like swimming underwater. There's just a lot of cool stuff in that game. But I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh my god, it's so different. Like it's very similar. There's other games though, like God of War 3, God of War 2018. I think they're more similar than people give it credit for. I mean, the combat is. The game structure isn't though. Like, but still, there's puzzle solving. It's just you got more control of the camera. It's more story. But really, like some of the combat scenarios I was like, man, why do people think this is just like a huge departure, especially once you get your flaming daggers? It really does just feel like a more 3D version of that combat. A little less actiony combo, but at the same time, there's still plenty of combos you can unlock later on. It's I don't know. I don't know if you have played much of 2018, but by the end, I was like, why are people saying this is like a complete departure from the original game? Because combat-wise, it still feels very, very rooted in that same original series. I think Clocked is probably gonna have to send a clip of this in a couple days and tell me how wrong I was, because I know he loves the original 3. But I don't remember where I was going. Oh yeah, just saying that some games are a little more different than the previous game in the series. Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, like they couldn't be more different, honestly. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it lost what people loved about it. Like there's people who still prefer the traditional Zelda. I'm surprised by how many people still have Ocarina or Wind Waker as their favorite Zelda game. Like, I mean,
Ocarina, it's mine.
It's still nostalgia wise and impact wise. Ocarina is like, yeah, you can't top the first Zelda game in 3D. Yeah, and they nailed it. Like they nailed it.
They fucking nailed it the first time. That doesn't happen.
But I just like it's not even close.
And I still play. It's not like I'm. I know you're not talking about me specifically, but it's not just like a nostalgia thing, because I go back to that bitch every year and I beat that bitch just about every year. So it's, it's, to me, it's still the best game ever made. So that's just
I
me,
was
though.
I haven't touched Mario 64 since I played it after we talked. I told you guys in the chat. I don't know if you saw that. After the podcast, we talked to like 10. I'm going to bed. I went up, turned my Switch 2 on, and I played Mario 64 till like 12 or 20, and I had to work the next day. I think I got 80, 84, 86 stars. I had 71, I think, when I started. So I played it almost 2 hours, and it's like past midnight. I cannot find the damn switch to activate the blue box. Like, I just can't find it. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to be told, but at this point, I can't beat the game because I can't get 120 stars till I find it.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
And I'm almost like, I almost want a hint, just like, is it in the castle or is it in like a level that's just got like a secret exit in the level that goes to it? I almost want to know that, but anyway, my plan is to finish that and then start Ocarina of Time and do a full playthrough on the Switch Online. And my only issue is I just really struggle with inverted aiming controls, and it's just like I can't remember. Use the analog. Do you get in a mode where you're aiming where you use the analog stick to aim, or do you use the C buttons to aim in Ocarina when you're first person in the bow? I feel like it's the C buttons.
Analog. I use analog. I'm pretty sure it's analog. Because you have to use, what is it? The right shoulder button, and then you use the stick to move your. If I'm not mistaken.
Because watching the Wilson video, like she could in first person, her aiming was like jerky, like it was like she was using the analog stick, but it was C button like controls. And I was like, I don't remember. That would seem weird not to use the analog stick at that point, but I do struggle.
That they were gonna make that game first person game. Like, oh yeah,
I need to see if the Switch Online if I can manipulate to invert the controls, but then that would mess up walking because you'd have to just do it. You'd have to make up and down swapped, but then when you're moving in the world, I think it would apply. I don't think you could do it just to aiming. I should just get the 3DS version because I know they added like gyro aiming and stuff, but that's the biggest hurdle. I'm gonna try to get through it, but I
can't remember. I played a fucking game every year still. I can't remember that.
I can say Mario 64 still plays great and stuff, but the times where it feels dated, like when you can't get the camera where you need it to go where you need to go.
Yeah, it's definitely dated.
I still appreciate it. but
Yeah, you push through that stuff because the game is so good.
I'm not gonna listen to somebody who says Mario Odyssey doesn't control better. like,
Yeah,
at
nah,
that
yeah,
point, you're just lying. You know, you're just lying.
yeah. That's a lie. What's the Mario 64? That is a lie.
But
Odyssey definitely controls way better. It controls
yeah,
better than Sunshine too.
I wanted to play Sunshine, but it's not on there yet. It's not on the GameCube. But once it is, I do remember like Mario
Oh,
was
it's not.
super.
Oh,
No,
yeah, that's right. You said that last
Mario
week.
was super twitchy in that game because the analog stick of GameCube I think has less travel. It just felt like super.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Cat?
Yeah, and see, that's my. We seem like you talk about this fucking game every week. That's my thing. It's just like, I mean, I'm not telling you to hate the game, but you got to acknowledge stuff like that. I mean, these are obvious things that the game has with the twitchy,
And the
control,
impossible
twitchy
sandbird,
Mario.
the stupid
Yeah,
sandbird
like
red coin, where you get to the edge sometimes on the with the turning block, whether it's the sandbird, whether it's just one
yeah,
of those no water pack levels.
yeah,
Sometimes you just as it's rotating, sometimes you just walk over it and it's fine. Other times he
yeah,
slips on his butt and he
right,
slips off, and it's just
right.
like
It happens. It's just a thing that is glitchy in the game. And again, you can maybe again, like I just said, you push through those things because you like the game so much. I have no problem with that. I literally just sat here and said, there are things that other people find tedious that I don't, but I acknowledge that they can be a tedious thing for people. The problem with Sunshine, for some reason, these people won't even acknowledge these flaws, and it's just like that's the part that drives me crazy. It's like, come on, these are obvious flaws in the game.
yeah,
But
but there's also some really fun stuff like the hovering. I
right,
got really good at hovering, the running, shooting, and sliding on your belly. Like there's a lot of cool stuff. The
yeah,
music, like I love the hub world. The music to me, that's one of the better
yeah,
themes of in Mario. Like Wind
right.
Waker, the Wind Waker title music. That's one of the best.
Fucking water is beautiful. Destroys fucking games that come out today, as far as the water and the physics and the water and stuff. Like there are things. Yeah, there's reasons I go back to the game, even though I obviously have issues with it.
I thought it was a
So
little the decision to make Yoshi just a version of Flood, where he
yeah,
projectile
I mean,
vomits.
right. It's stuff like that. Yoshi's back, cool. Oh, but he can't handle water, and he shoots juice out of his face. like, like that's weird. Okay.
Even in the Galaxy too, I don't love that Yoshi's
No.
his like he eats something and he gets like this temporary like a hot pepper and he gets like a temporary boost and it's like why can't I just have Yoshi and be on him and play the level? Like why do I have to have
Yeah.
this gimmicky stuff? Why do you have to have the his tongue like I guess that gives it something unique to using him in Galaxy, but that was my least
Yeah.
favorite part was like trying to use his tongue to get places. Is there a game where, other than Sunshine, where you just in the hub world, like where you just on Yoshi and you just play through a level 3D game where you just play on Yoshi and you don't have to get off him or anything to do anything else? Like I'm trying to.
No.
I know in Galaxy 2, like he's in levels, but I don't feel like you just keep him the whole time. I don't know. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. My
No.
memory's not the best.
I
But
don't think so.
like he's not in
Yeah,
3D
Ayers
World.
is right. Like,
He's not in Bowser's
uh,
Fury. He's not in Odyssey. But what do you say?
I was just saying what Ayers said there. Nintendo admits the flaws of various GCN games. Right. And
And that's
that's
why
another
they
thing.
want. Yeah,
They themselves admit it. Why can't you?
they admitted they had to rush the games out because the GameCube
Yeah.
wasn't selling.
These are things that came out of their mouths. This is stuff that Awada Ass talked about.
Imagine
Yes.
a fully cooked GameCube 3D. I mean, it would have been Sunshine, but more refined. You know,
Right.
Wind Waker, you would have had what 2 more dungeons? I know Retro gets mad at
Yeah.
me because he counts like the fortress both times, the little sneaking around as a dungeon.
And he's the only one.
Like yeah, it was a little more involved than I remembered. Like you have to find a key, but that I guess because I didn't like those stealth
I love
sections.
Ocarina of Time, but I don't count the fucking ice castle or what is it, ice caverns or whatever as a dungeon, even though there's dungeon-like things in it. That's not a full dungeon to me. So
And even the cool you go underwater and everything's frozen in time. Now again, my gaming memory isn't the best, but it was, 2013 last time I played it. So it's been 12, we're coming up on 13 years, 12 years plus. I feel like that
Right.
was a very short, smaller, if you want to call it a dungeon. I don't remember it being like a full length dungeon, but maybe I'm wrong. Um,
Which one?
and when you go underwater and you're in the castle and everything's like frozen in the beginning. All the enemies are frozen in Wind Waker. When you're like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
go down to Hyrule on the bottom of the
yeah,
ocean. I don't remember that being like a super elaborate dungeon. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah.
But also there was like a tower. There's some cool stuff like Dragon Roost Island. I mean, no question about it. That's a traditional Zelda dungeon in Wind Waker. Like that one stands out. Um, but
Yeah, sneaking into Hyrule Castle in Ocarina of Time. That's a dungeon.
yeah,
It's a dungeon,
the
man.
fortress. Yeah, I mean it's a longer, stealthy section with some keys and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, or you have to unlock doors. It's dungeon adjacent, but it's not like compared to the more traditional ones in the game. I would say it's, he says there's like 11. I felt like there was 3. So I know I was wrong, but I don't.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Wind Waker dungeons. I remember
Let's
it
do
was
this. We doing this.
so Forsaken Fortress, Dragon Roost Cavern, Forbidden Woods. God, that felt like a shorter one. Tower of the Gods.
Is
Remember
that what
that?
Hobbiton Holt's talking about?
Then you had the Earth Temple, Wind Temple. Those are the ones I remembered. Ganon's Tower, and Savage Labyrinth. I don't remember Savage Labyrinth. It's a mini dungeon located on Outset Island where the entrance is blocked by a stone head. Mini dungeons comprise of 50 floors with monsters. 50 floors? Oh, is that like... Oh, that's the one.
Oh,
That's where you go
yeah,
down, you defeat enemies, you go lower. Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't consider that a dungeon.
Me neither. No.
Ganon's Tower, 7th and final dungeon in Wind Waker. Wind Temple, yeah, Earth, Tower of the Gods, Forbidden Woods, Dragon Roost. So that's technically 7. Forsaken Fortress, whatever. I mean, I didn't love it, but I guess if you want to count it, it's still 7. I always said it was like 3.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like a dungeon, but okay.
But I don't remember where we started with just. I think we were just talking about Ocarina versus like, was it nostalgia, or you say it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forget
Nostalgia.
where initially we were going with that part of the conversation. I think it was just talking about sequels that are way different. I think
Yeah.
initially that's where we were. Like, trying to think of like a sequel, like a numbered sequel that's completely different doesn't usually happen, but they might take the
Completely
name.
different. Like a modern one. Well, I guess the modern ones would probably be your best bet
Well, Grand
because
Theft Auto 3
retro
versus
sequels.
Grand Theft Auto 2 was a huge
Right.
change.
I mean, but yeah, that's the difference between like and not to compare the games, but that's the difference between like a Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time,
hmm
right? It's like it's you're going from a just top down thing to a full open 3D game. So
Yeah, usually if you change a game too much though, they're gonna get some backlash. Unless the first game was just like a
Zelda 2.
oh I'm sorry. I tried. I could, even as an adult, I was like, I cannot get through this game. But
Yeah.
um
That's one Zelda game I'm never gonna beat.
Mario Brothers 2, completely different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
Well,
still a great it's
it
still a great
literally
game.
was a different
hmm
game. So
Still
I
plays
get
really
it, but
well and stuff.
I love it.
I never beat it personally.
You never beat Mario 2?
I
Oh
never
my
had it,
gosh.
and I never was like that
Oh,
interested in it. But Link
it's a
Between
pretty cool
Worlds,
final
that's an
boss
amazing.
battle.
Yeah, a lot of times sequels, like I've been saying this for years. Like I'm not like Mister. I need a sequel. I've never have been movies or games, because most of the time, like we talked about Avatar. Like I haven't seen it yet, Fire and Ash, but it sounds like the main criticism is that it just, I mean, it just repeats things from the first movie, especially like the final act. And I'm like,
That's not that's not even the biggest issue. Like,
I didn't say it was the
I
biggest
think
issue,
the
but that's
problem
just something I
biggest
keep hearing people bring up.
yeah. My problem with it. I mean, I love the movie, still love it, but it's basically Avatar The Way of Water part or point five.
Yeah.
It's just it's yeah. That's my main issue. I
It
think that's a
felt
lot of
like,
people.
I don't know, without seeing the movie, that was another thing people said. It's just basically follows. It's like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. It's like Way of Water 1 and Volume 1 and 2 is what another person was saying. But the end, they pretty much redid what from the first movie. But anyway, it's like, was there really 6 hours worth of actual content for that storyline to be over across two movies? Probably not. I don't know what personally. There's some stuff I know I'd cut out of Way of Water. Like if I just was like, all right, you can edit this movie down. Need to get it down to like 2.5. I know there's stuff I definitely want to cut out. But when it's his thing. Like it's his passion project. Obviously, the first one made the most, 2 something billion, and they just wanted to make more. And it's like,
And we didn't get enough Fire and Ash. It's
yeah,
called Fire and Ash, and like if you're hoping to see or learn a lot about those folks, sorry to tell you.
yeah. So yeah,
There's not a whole lot.
it does feel like maybe they're dragging it out a little bit. For me personally, if you were like, we have 3 or 4 sequels planned, like that means you're probably gonna have 2 movies that feel like middle of the story stuff. That's gonna be a tough thing. It's hard to do a middle movie and have it.
But I still love those really
Yeah,
cool reveals and stuff in there.
I'm sure
So
I like it
great.
once. Hopefully they keep, now that Disney owns them.
Don't let anybody spoil it for you.
I don't want to.
It's
I'm
gonna
more
suck.
worried about Warner Brothers movies in the future with Netflix, but hopefully
Yeah.
they release a 3D version still, even though most people don't care. I'll pay $50 if I have to get a 3D version because that's the way to watch those movies for me. But a lot of times games are like that. Like the sequel is just like, wow, it's more of the same. Sometimes that's perfectly fine. Sometimes that's great. Sometimes I'm like, like Tears of the Kingdom. It's a great game, but it is. I can admit it's a lot of more of the same. Like 120. Well, I think there's more shrines, but
152, I believe.
I don't remember being that many. But anyway, there's
Oh, trust
there's
me.
shrines.
It's 152.
There's Koroks. There's memories. Even though I thought the memories and the story in this were more captivating, especially one of the payoffs, the Master Sword payoffs for me hit really good. And I didn't know. I had no idea. But when it hit me, like, what is this Master Sword? Okay. Oh wait. I watched a memory and I was like, they hinted at something. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking about that where I got the Master Sword. I'm thinking about the color scheme. And I'm like, you know what? I think I know. There's no way, but that kind of feels like that's this thing. And it was. I was like, oh shit. Like I felt like proud of myself for like putting that together. But anyway, it's a similar formula. I'm not. Yeah, you can add caves, but even in the game, the caves was a formula. The same enemies. You had the same
So it was very formulaic.
glowy thing, which I have a funny clip of shooting one way up high and it fell and thudded its head, ragdolled. It was really funny. It's one of the clips I still have. I have, I think, 180 hours in Tears of the Kingdom. I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not more of the same of Breath of the Wild.
I got 155 in it, and I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as you. So I'm not that far behind you as far as hours go.
And I restarted
But
both
enjoying
games on Switch 2. And guess which game I played way more? Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, wasn't even close.
I actually, it might not be way more, but I don't think
I'm over 100 hours more on
I
Breath of the
didn't
Wild,
do the first.
and I still want some. I still want to do some. I haven't finished the DLC. The
Well, I'm saying on Switch 2, like just Switch 2 time only between the two games. Ever since I got,
gotcha.
that's what I was talking about. Like I think I played Breath of the Wild more after already having 300 hours in it. I played Breath of the Wild more on Switch 2 edition than Tears. But there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But also, I don't want a third Zelda game like this. What do they call it? A wild? What's the term people are using for this style of Zelda? I don't know if it's a
The
Wild series.
open air.
Yeah, so,
Well,
I
no,
mean, there's a
no
different,
open
there's
air.
a one word thing people are using now. I don't know if it's the Wild Zelda or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want a third one. I'm sorry. And not in the same Hyrule, for sure.
Yeah, I think about like all the stuff that I thought was awesome in like Breath of the Wild. Like, could you said wild, and it made me think of like wild animals and hunting and all that kind of. I didn't do any of that. Tears of the King. I if I kill anything, it was just like on the way, is it in my way, kind of stuff. So
I will say, the one
it
thing in
was.
Tears,
Yeah.
some of the actual side quests, I feel like there's a couple side quests in Tears that were better than any of the side quests. In Breath of the Wild, side quests weren't anything to write home about.
Yeah.
Um, like there's one where you read about, you talk to a guy and he's like, I forget what his trade was. His tool or something got stolen, like to till Earth or whatever it was. And so I went down where he said it last was, and there was a dock there on a river. And I was like, you know what? I forget what a raft or something. I don't know if I made one or there was one. And I just got on the raft and I let the current take me. And it might have been, I think it was one of those. Yeah, I made one with like fans and the arm so you can steer it. But I basically went down
Yeah.
the river. There's a spot where like the river branches off, and in the middle there's some land, and there was like, I could see like there's a woman and there's like crops, and I was like, huh, I wonder if this is related to that. And I talked to her, and yeah, she took the dude's, like, I forget exactly what she took, so she could grow plants or grow crops and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I just didn't tell me where to go. I just saw it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go down this river and we'll see where it goes and see if there's anything related. And then there
Yeah.
was a cool conclusion with that, and I was just like, yeah, that was really cool. Like there wasn't a moment like that in Breath of the Wild for me, for like a side quest. There was like, oh, I need this recipe. Oh, this supposed uh what do they call it, guardian, not guardian, like Hyrule armor or whatever, armor set. And you're like, oh, when I got the set I went back to the guy and he's like, oh, there it is, 100 rupees or whatever. That wasn't like a real quest. I just knew there was a guy that was mentioning that armor. When I found it, I went and talked to him.
Yeah.
um but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Like it's a direct sequel, and it's like, well, I got all this shit already. Um, why can't I just, if I have the save file, let me keep the shit that I grinded
Yeah.
for forever and Breath of the Wild. That would have been like immensely uh, uh, helpful as far as me liking the game more. And fuck your house that you know, I put some work in to get that house.
Well, this is it's Zelda's
and,
house now.
and then now it's Zelda's house. Like, what the fuck?
I will say though,
Uh,
your all your horses are carried over, which I thought was cool.
yeah, they did carry your horses, which surprised me. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That was cool.
That's
Like I
the
wish
one
there was
thing it
more of
brought
that.
over.
Like
Yeah,
having to find the same outfits. Like I get the new outfits, but I had to find the same outfits again
yeah,
and level
that's what I
them
meant.
up with no
Yeah,
explanation.
and
So that's where
that
to me it became
felt too
tedium.
video gamey.
I wouldn't call it tedium. It's just like, oh, I've done this before, and like, yeah, I've already had this outfit. Now I have to go find this outfit in the depths. Now I have to like find all the resources to upgrade it again.
Right.
And it's like some of them I was like, oh wait, oh that's cool. I found like a under the castle there was like just like a, I don't know if they were like prison cells or dungeons or whatever. And I went from under the little town and I ended up right under the castle, and there was like this cool area, and I found some like an armor set from the original game. That was the first like stuff from the original game, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That was fun, but I didn't want to have to do that a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But again, back to the main point. I like the game. I think it was my game of the year that year. I can't remember what year that was now. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I think it was. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not a similar game. Like last week we brought.
It's
Yeah.
literally similar. You can't really put
Trying to
around
think
that.
what else they could have did. and stayed in Hyrule. Like I think they did as much as they could by changing Hyrule without just going to a different
Well,
area.
I think um, Skitty Bitty. I think I mentioned this last week that was a great idea Skitty Bitty had. Why didn't they just both go into the past? Then you
Yeah,
could use that whole world. Um,
it would have been
make them
similar, but way more different. Trees,
right, and you
everything would
can
have been different.
right, and you can justify all the Zonai shit everywhere instead of no Sheikah shit. Like that would have alleviated that whole issue because I could not get over that in my head. I'm like playing the game. I'm like, where? What,
Well, the Yiga
this
were
game
there,
is
so why don't
literally
the Sheikah?
supposed to be, huh?
The Yiga were there, so why was the
Right, the
Sheik?
Yiga running around. I'm still dealing with the fucking bozo ass Yiga
I think the head
Master
Yiga
Koga.
guy was funny though. I loved him in that
He was
game.
funny, yeah.
It was the only
Um,
reason. It was the main reason for me to go in the depths.
yeah, that was my main uh, that, and I guess when I got interested in finding uh the fifth, what is it, sage?
The fifth
Not
stage.
fifth, yeah, fifth sage, yeah. When I got
That
interested
was
in
I
finding
actually
that,
thought that was better than any of the quote unquote temple dungeons. I like that whole thing. Getting the pieces
oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
trying to get the pieces out and all that was clever. That was some
Yeah.
clever stuff. That's when I was having fun. And I just remember that because Robert asked me, because I said, "Oh, I'm actually starting to have fun with this." That's when I was starting to have fun with it when I was doing that whole quest to find the fifth stage or whatever. So if you're listening, Robert, that's what it was. I couldn't remember when you asked me, but it was that.
So what?
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just looking at 2023. I was trying to see if Tears was. Of course, I can't just find. Just give me a list of like the top games. Spider-Man 2
Is that
didn't
right? You
play
can
it.
only get amiibo. You can only get opponent through amiibo.
Yeah, and it's not guaranteed. But it happens pretty frequently.
Oh.
Yeah, Tears was my game of the year. Looking at this list, there wasn't a great year.
Well, I wanted Banjo Kazooie 3 and not Nuts and Bolts.
That's a good one where they just went a completely different direction. It's like,
Yeah,
but
that's I got Tears of the Kingdom, Nuts and Bolts. Build these devices, which was fun for like the first couple hours, but then I got over it. I just rather, uh, you know, oh, I cheesed a lot using the bike, the air bike.
yeah, that once I got that, I used that a lot. Plus, I had my batteries, so I could
Yep.
reduce the consumption armor
Yeah,
leveled
yeah,
up, so I could fly for a long time.
yeah.
But another game that kind of I was hoping. Here's an example of a game I was hoping they would change it up. Two games. I didn't play one of them, but Hellblade. I thought the first game was a good start, and I wanted to see like this go even further into the combat, make it very actiony,
That
not.
was a good one.
And it turned into, well, we're going to take away one of the things I loved was having multiple enemies. Have to be aware. You got your people in your head telling you behind you, and then you dodge. It's very rewarding. And then it's like, oh, well, this just be one-on-one, very cinematic style combat instead of like this, not taking it to where I would like it. I always said I thought Hellblade could be
Oh,
Xbox's answer to God of War 2018, and they didn't.
what about? Because you play them
And
both.
Plague Tale was the other one I was
Plague
gonna
Tale.
say. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted them to
Okay.
do more. I mean, oh, there's a crossbow or whatever in the trailer. Yeah, that's you get like 4 or 5 crossbow bolts in the entire game to use,
Right.
and and then it's like, oh, it's just more of the we gotta get the rats scared of the fire. We gotta clear a path. Now, I still found it. It still isn't enjoyable, but I was
Well, that's a
hoping
yeah.
that they would expand more than they did instead of staying close to the original. Like that's
It's
one
quite the visual jump. At
yeah.
least.
And I mean, there was some cool, like the amount of rats was ridiculous. There was some
Yeah.
cool additions, but overall, it's just like I actually, talk about cheesing. There's an area with like a bunch of enemies, and you're supposed to like do all this. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna run past them all. In the door, yeah, there's like a 3 or 4 second timer on, to get the door open. I'm just gonna try it. And I was like, as I'm opening the door, they're coming, and like dude was like in the door, like trying to hit me as she shuts it, and I was like, oh, I died
Yeah.
about 10 times trying to do it the way it wanted me to, and I said, screw it, I'm just gonna run for the door. Later on, they made it so you couldn't. It took you like 10 seconds to open the door, like you had to activate a switch or something, so you couldn't cheese it. They must have figured it out during the development or something. But I was like, that's not how they wanted me to play it. That made it less fun because I just ran past it, and once you get through it, you can't go back. And I knew I cheesed it, but yeah, that game I was hoping for more. Others,
Yeah, I enjoyed it like that more than the first one, as far as like just not being frustrated about certain things. I enjoyed it, you know, better there. Obviously, I think the story was more compelling in the first one, and the final boss was pretty cool.
mm-hmm.
Um, but or cool, at least better than twos. But yeah, I mean, I did, I guess I never really thought about it that much. It's like, oh, I like the first game. They made some improvements to the second one. That's fine. That's mostly what you get with a direct sequel.
I
Um,
feel like they I wouldn't say padded it, but I hated the forced walking sections. That was another thing I was hoping they'd try to get
yeah,
away from. Oh, you can only like walk fast in this area, and you can only run during this sequence. Like Last of Us does the same thing. There's sequences where you can flat out run. Most of the time, it's
yeah,
just your fast jog or your
right.
slow jog. And then there's times where it's like Hellblade, same thing. You can't pull out your sword until it's a combat scenario situation. So I can't sit there and practice. I'm hoping like, okay, they tried to make a AAA indie game basically for $10 million. It did pretty well. It was well received. Now I'll take it to the next level. Like I said, with Xbox backing, I was expecting or hoping. I guess wasn't expecting, hoping to say, all right, let's make this our God of War 2018. Let's take this to a whole new level. And I didn't play it yet, so who knows? Maybe I'll like it a lot when I play it. But it's obvious that they didn't go that. They didn't take that approach. They basically kept
Yeah.
it 4 to 5 hour, 5 6 hour game, whatever. And kind of scaled back the combat, not expanded upon it. So
Yeah. Unfortunately, unfortunately, they had an opportunity there and they did not meet it.
spent as much time. I mean, they announced it before they really even started the game. Kind of like they made a cinematic just to announce it in 2019,
Yeah.
and I don't think they actually had anything really started at that point. But that came out. What was that last year? 2024. Hellblade 2. Yeah. Yep. Because they announced it in
24, yeah.
2019. It came out a little under 5 years.
Early 24.
And they're another studio that I feel like kind of like Retro back in the day. Rare, like they announced like 4 games back then, all kind of similar about psychosis and stuff, mental stuff going on, and all the while they're hoping that Hellblade 2 would come out sooner, and who knows if those other games are even going to be made, because it just felt like they were stuck just hearing the head studio guy, I don't know his name, and he announced like, yeah, Project Mara or whatever, it's about mental health. I'm like, Hellblade's about about somebody with a psychosis and stuff. Like, don't get don't what do you call it, typecast yourselves with the same concept. But it might be. I mean, I'm not saying who knows. It could be really cool, like psychological horror game or something. So I'll have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
other than that, 2026 is upon us. I didn't redo my tradition. I played Dark Souls till about 10 o'clock. I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I played Dark Souls again. Like that was the first and last game of the year. I didn't stay up. That's probably the first time in a long time I didn't stay up past midnight. Nothing special. I haven't done like a New Year's Eve party since I was like early 30s probably. And it's just
Yeah.
the last one I went to, they had like karaoke and it was all right, but I'm just it's just like that's not what I'd rather just be playing a game till I go to bed, like I was trying to play games to past midnight. The last like 7 years I played Breath of the Wild or Elden Ring last year. So did you do anything?
Yeah, I worked until 10. And then came home. Me and the kids watched, what did we watch? Oh, we watched Stranger Things, the final episode, 2 hours. And yeah, that was it.
Oh, I did
We
watch.
watched the ball drop, and actually, because I came home at 10, so we had to watch a little bit of Stranger Things, or at least half of it. And then the ball dropped. And we finished the second half, and then I went to sleep. And that was it.
I did
That was
watch.
my New
I didn't.
Year's.
Damn it. I think I got out early, New Year's Eve, and I watched 2 movies. So I watched Tropic Thunder for the first time in like since probably it first came out on DVD. Freaking loved that movie. Like I knew I liked it. I loved it even more. Like it's funny, but it's also just like super clever, and it's also like satire on a lot of bullshit. I forgot how funny those movie trailers were in the beginning. Like that's way better than
Oh, they're great.
the Grindhouse ones. Like those ones are hilarious. Like
Oh, yeah.
and they're making fun of actors. They're making fun of like pretentious actors and like the
And I was like, you guys cool with this? Because you're some of your friends.
Robert Downey
That
Jr.
can
and
do
Tobey
it.
Maguire. Like
Yeah.
it looks like a gay love story, but with like priests, and it's got the music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so freaking clever. Like,
Oh.
this isn't just like this is smart. Like, like
Yeah.
the Scorcher, he saved the Earth, and then he did it again, and then he did it again. Now
Again.
Scorcher 6 or
Again.
Scorcher 7. Then the booty. What was what's the drink?
I let it the booty juice.
Booty juice and like the nut
Dripping down to
something
the
nut
floor.
bar.
I let it
Busted nut bar or something.
busting the nut.
And it's like it's funny
Al
like
Pacino got that pussy control.
mm-hmm. Like so I watched that, and then I watched K-pop Demon Hunters
My wife hates that movie.
Really?
She hates Tropic Thunder. And I always make fun of her because she likes Norbit. And I'm like, wait a minute, you like Norbit. You have no right
And
to talk
it's
shit about
it would
Tropic
tell
Thunder.
you like, oh, booty sweat. Yeah. That's what it was.
Booty sweat. And the
Um
busting up bars, right?
Anybody who like saw that movie and was like, oh, I can't believe Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, like that's the
Yeah.
joke.
No one said that, by the way, back when that movie
No,
came out.
no one-
Nobody said it.
Like
Didn't
anybody
he get
like
an Oscar nomination?
he
He
won
got
an
an
Oscar.
nomination.
I believe he won, didn't he? He was nominated
No,
for
he didn't
sure.
win. He didn't win. He got nominated though.
And I'm like, that's the character. The character
Yes.
was a pretentious white actor who was like was playing a black character and staying in
Right.
character this whole time, and knowing the actual black guy and acting like he's actually black. That's the whole joke. You can't.
Yeah, he's making fun of character actors who get too full of themselves.
Mm-hmm. And
That's all it
like
was.
they even make a joke like, oh, I don't remember the actor's name.
I'm a dude.
I'm the
Pretend
act.
to be a dude.
Yeah, but he's
I
just
forgot how
like
he said
the
it.
black dude's just like, yeah, I had to be in here because I, a white man took this part or whatever like that, because in the movie there was no reason for Robert Downey Jr. to be
black, yeah.
to be black, but in the movie
Right.
Tropic Thunder they had to cast a white guy to play that part. It's just like, and it's clever, and then like he doesn't even know why. He's like, they keep bringing it up, and then finally realize he don't even know who he is. Like he don't know the real him because he's always so into his characters. But then there's the scene where he's talking to Ben Stiller about obviously never go full retard. That's a funny scene. That's a funny line, but actually he brings up the real life actors as an example, and then later on when he's doing the play for the what country were they? They didn't even know what country they were, but for that kid, they were fans of his Simple Jack, and
Simple Jack.
he's like critiquing them from a distance. He's like, yeah, he toned it down. He did this, he did that.
I died on that part. I died. He was so funny in that.
And I'm just like, it's just so.
That's when Brandon T. Jackson slaps him. I told you I was gonna tag you back.
It's just such a damn good movie, man. And it's funny.
And here's the thing. He was very good. He wasn't some
No.
you could say he was stereotypical, but he felt like a black dude I knew. He felt like an uncle of mine. Like that's why it worked so much for me. I was like, yeah, that sounds.
It
like
works on that level, but it also works on
Right.
yeah. This is a white guy pretending to be
Right.
like he really went through the struggle. He talked about collard greens and cooking all this food and it's like yeah, he's going too far with
patty
it.
now. I'm gonna boil some crawfish in a patty. Wow. I'm like, I know that dude.
It was amazing. Let me see.
Oh, that movie. Yeah, you never see that again, unfortunately. Or Shallow Hal, for that matter.
So anyway, I watched that.
You forget about it.
And then I watched K-pop for the second time. I liked K-pop more the second time.
Yeah, you catch the other little things that you missed.
It's not like, oh my god, this is some amazing story
Right.
or it's a funny, quirky, fun movie with cool idea and good music and great animation.
And it's just more proof that Sony don't know what the fuck they are doing. How did you let this get away from you? You happily sold this to Netflix. What were you? You guys have no ability to recognize talent or any of that stuff. What is going on over at Sony Studios?
I wonder, you never know. What would have happened if they just put that out in theaters? It might not have been
I think it would have done. I think
it might have been because K-pop's huge around the world, not just Korea.
Right, I think it would have been. They like somebody had to have gotten fired over that. Who okayed that to be sold off to Netflix? Somebody had to have gotten fired.
And they don't even making money off the hit soundtrack. I watched a video about how Sony dropped the ball. Some other company.
And you're Sony. You should know about
Sony
that.
Music isn't making money off of the K-pop, the platinum.
That's insane.
Hits. By the way, Heath Ledger won the Oscar. That's why Robert didn't. He would have won.
I was gonna say.
If it wasn't for Heath Ledger, I think.
He wasn't gonna be Heath Ledger there.
Also, Tom Cruise, probably one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances.
And they had been talking about doing a movie just with him for so long.
It's too late.
And they never got around to it. It's too late now.
That dance
Actually, no, it's not too late. He's still,
Yeah.
He was in makeup.
Ben Stiller in sequels isn't. He's done a couple sequels. Like he did Zoolander. He did some animated movies. Madagascar.
He doesn't do sequels.
Yeah, Zoolander 2, I don't think was very good.
They're about. The Meet the Fockers movies. They're about to do another one. So
yeah, I mean the second one was okay. But anyway, yeah, Sony dropped the ball on K-pop. Now that Netflix has some big enough, people think they might do. They might finish. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm guessing you've seen it. There's towards the end. It just like jumps. Something happens.
Yeah.
Let's just say somebody teleports like a demon, and nothing happens. And then next thing you know, they're just saving the day or whatever. And it's like, that was kind of a big moment. I thought something was going to happen after that. It never did. Well, apparently,
it felt like there was a false start.
People are speculating that they're going to finish all the deleted scenes or scenes that got cut. I mean, and put out like a director's cut or a longer version, which I'm all about.
In theaters?
I don't know. Netflix is talking about it, so it'll probably.
When Netflix just made $25 million putting Stranger Things in theaters.
Really? Well, K-pop had a limited run, but they need to release that on 4K too.
25 mil? That's crazy.
Yeah, because I don't care. I mean, you're not gaining. I don't know how many new subscribers they might have got for K-pop. Probably a good amount. But they're talking about Warner Brothers doing like a 14-day theatrical run before putting it on Netflix. I'm like
17.
17.
Yeah, well, it's not much better, but yeah, that's a joke.
It's like that to me. That means they're probably not going to release them on physical. They're probably not gonna.
Well, they should because they bought Warner Brothers. They have a distribution arm. They should. I thought that's one of the things they wanted is that now they can sell all their TV shows physically.
I mean,
I think
I think there's maybe not a huge market, but you should. I think they'd make money putting
that's still a
put
decent
Stranger
market.
Things on 4K. I feel like they'd make the money back.
I'd buy this shit and I have Netflix. Like I would definitely buy it.
I'd rather
I bought the first season.
like Arcane. They did Arcane season 1 and 2, but that's because they only had it for a year or whatever. It's still on Netflix, but somebody else had the rights beforehand to release it. And
Yeah.
I was so happy when the season 1 and season 2 came a lot quicker. And it's like, I just want my physical. Talking to Robert yesterday, that's something. If he's making it all the way to the end, I'm sure he'll message. Robert's the king.
I know.
Robert's
I know,
the king.
They didn't make money, but that was their decision. They can clearly make money doing that. They did that as a kind of what do you call it a reach around for theaters, but they could clearly make money in theaters. So that was just a choice they made to do that.
Yeah, well, last thing I want to say, like I said, give something Robert to message us about tomorrow or whenever he listens. He said it's weird that we make a distinction between downloading a game that we have a disc for and installing it off the disc.
I saw the little.
And I'm sorry, Robert, you're the king of like words meaning way more to me. Like in my opinion, I feel like words mean way more to him than to me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
with
a huge difference. I'm sorry, like the fact that the entire game's on the disc. I don't know why. Maybe it's silly. I guess I can't be mad at somebody who doesn't think there's a difference, but for me, that is the difference. Like I'm probably not that worried about 20 years from now and all that, but there's just a principle to it. If the disc can hold 100 gigabytes,
principle, man.
And yeah, they're gonna patch, they're gonna add stuff. Like Returnal on the disc versus Returnal that I play is a completely different experience because you can't even suspend the game in Returnal.
Which is insane.
You have to die. Basically, it kills you, and you just start your cycle over. So if you're in the middle of a really good cycle and somebody called you, say, "Hey, I need a ride. My car's broke down," you could suspend the game, but if your PlayStation restarted overnight or updated, you would lose your run. And they added that. They also fixed some other stuff. That I probably wouldn't play the version off the disc, so maybe that makes it stupid, even dumb to say. But there's just something about supporting the principle of, hey, we're putting the whole game on the disc. That the gold version, the launch version, that clocked it. I was surprised to hear him say he realized that a lot of PlayStation 5 games, other than Ubisoft and the Xbox ones, and probably some EA, a lot of those games, the whole game's on the disc. And
the disc, yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2, that's the reason I picked up the remaster for like $30. Is the whole game's on the disc, and it's like they're probably not going to update that game a ton. So I was just like, I'm going to have like a pretty much complete version. If Breath of the Wild, if they say the whole game,
and who gives a shit about updates if it's not something that like super fixes the game? Like,
it's
like
different if it's a game's broken without a day one
right.
patch.
That's different.
Like Cyberpunk
That's different.
on PS4,
Right.
Like that's garbage.
Right.
Like I don't care that it's on the disc. That's garbage. That's not a good version.
But you can buy a later version on the disc that has all the fixes.
Yeah, like if Breath of the Wild with all the DLC and the most current update, Switch 2 edition, I would consider buying that to have everything on the cartridge. They didn't do that. I'm sure they do. Switch games did get some updates. Some games have the more updated version on the cartridge on Switch 1. I don't know which games or how you know, but I know they released some games with all the patches and stuff on it later on. And I don't know if disc-based games ever do that. I doubt it. So I just think I guess in one hand I can understand why it might seem like a small difference, but if it's not on the disc, then I'm just gonna get the digital version
Yeah,
of the
why
game,
not just buy
so I don't
for the
have to worry
convenience?
about putting the disc in.
Right.
Like that's just the way it is. Like what game was Clock talking about on Switch 2? Requiem, Resident Evil. It's a game key card. If I'd just get the digital if I was gonna get the Switch 2
Yeah.
version. Um, but yeah, you do lose the ability to trade it in or sell it, whatever, down the road. You know, you can,
Which collectors don't care about that because they want to keep
but
it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why I just get the PS5 version. I'm assuming Capcom's gonna stay true. They put the games on the disc up until, as far as I know. I don't know about like Monster Hunter Wilds or anything, but like,
yeah.
you
Like
know,
I'm gonna get the bundle on Switch too, but I'm gonna buy, maybe when it's $20 or something, I'm gonna buy the disc version on PS5 or something. Because why? I want a physical copy of a real physical copy of the game. So
so yeah, I guess when I first brought it up, I was like, it seemed like yeah, it's a huge difference, but I mean, different perspectives. It is kind of like it's more of a principle thing. So I guess I can kind of see why Robert. Not saying he doesn't have principles, but I think we sometimes struggle when I have a principle that I'm like against, like Netflix. Like we talking about Netflix, he was so mad at me for getting the K-pop, just like a quote unquote pirated. It came from another region where it's not on Netflix, so somebody got it somehow. They got a digital version. He's like, why didn't you just get Netflix for a month? I said because Netflix, there's ridiculous. $25 a month for the 4K, and it's like the worst streaming quality out of all, like compared to HBO Max, Paramount Plus, even fucking Peacock. Netflix looks terrible on blowing up on a big
Netflix has been
screen.
doing it longer than anybody.
They keep raising the prices. They did 2 price hikes, I think, in a year. Um, and I'm just like, I'm done with that. Like they're talking about, I don't know if I knew about the Warner Brother. I think that was around that time that was being talked about. Like I'm not paying
I
twenty
don't want.
five dollars for a month of Netflix to watch a 90-minute movie. That they should just it should either be put in theaters or they need to release a 4K version. I'll buy the 4K version when it comes out. But I'm sorry, I'm not like gonna I'm not just gonna steal every movie now. But if Warner Brothers and Netflix, if they stop releasing movies physically, so I can't buy the movie, like actually own the movie,
You're gonna sail the high seas.
I might, you know. But then if there's no physical copy, there's not going to be a really good high quality version available because K-pop's only as good as the Netflix. It's like I can tell you right now how many gigs. It's not that big for. It's not even in 4K. Like it's a 1080p. I want to say it's like 12 gigs
Yeah, what's
maybe.
gonna happen to HBO Max? I love HBO Max.
HBO Max has
You
great
have to leave that
quality
alone.
too,
Yeah,
but
you have
there's
to
no
leave
way.
HBO Max alone.
I don't see how they keep them separate.
I think what they were saying, again, this is all speculation. It's talking back and forth. I think um, uh, they were saying is that they're not going to bring over HBO Max onto Netflix. What they will do is bring over like DC stuff, which I guess I'm fine with that.
I guess Christopher
'Cause-
Nolan was really worried about his Batman movies being like taking maybe trying to make a fourth one or something. I don't know exactly what he
Yeah,
was. I can see that, like, it is his baby, but he doesn't own it, so it's like,
well, yeah, it's Batman. Sorry, Chris, but
let me see. I was gonna look up, but yeah, I'm sorry, I forget there was like something else about. I know it was the price hikes and it's the quality. Like you're charging. Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Um, it's only four gigs K-pop Demon Hunter, so it's normal 1080p movie that length probably gonna be almost 20 gigs, so it's a low quality version. It still looks fine, sounds okay.
well, I'm sure they have a high quality
They probably have one
uh,
somewhere, but
digital copy of it or
like the
whatever
raw
somewhere.
like the raw
The raw, yeah,
digital movie that was initially going to be a theatrical release, yeah, there's a high quality probably upscaled 2K version that would probably be like
right.
50 gigs if they release it on 4K. I mean, because if it's the option is pay for Netflix to watch Warner Brothers movies, or spend $10,000 on a Kaleidoscape server and player, I'd be probably lean more towards the Kaleidoscape for pay 10 grand because it's high quality. Download the full movie, play it at full quality. I'm just not going to pay. And
Damn,
just the
the
idea.
Christopher Nolan hate.
Yeah. The this idea of streaming services for everything, like I know, like it's just out of control. I know it's already got kind of it's already plateaued and maybe starting to go down with I don't know, these companies trying to push their streaming.
Yeah,
but
there's only so many subscribers out there, by the way.
You're gonna have Amazon Prime, then you got HBO Max, then you got Netflix, you got Disney Plus, and they're all raising their price. Disney Plus was $7.99. What is it, like $20 now?
It was $6.99, my friend. I remember I was there day one, and it's
like that's not a sustainable thing. You can't just keep raising the price. Netflix is going to be $50 probably in 20 years. But who knows, with inflation that might not be that much, but like in 5 years it could be $30, $35 a month. Like that's just ridiculous. Like I'm just sorry.
Like a Game Pass.
Yeah. But anyway, we got to get out of here. My cat is just annoying me right now she's hungry.
I have a hack with Netflix. Buy the cheap sub with ads, then upgrade to 4K, and they shorten your month down to 9 days. Great if you want to binge. Huh.
What is that?
There you go.
Buy the cheap sub with ads, then upgrade to 4K. What, you get it for free? And you only get it for 9 days, though? That's interesting. How would you figure that out?
Around things. Yeah. That's pretty slick there.
Airs, I mean, yeah, you can complain about some of the audio, like the dialogue in Nolan films, but his audio mixes are some of the best. I mean, I'm no expert, but I think I have a good ear for audio mixes. His 5.1 mixes surpass a lot of like Dolby Atmos.
You merely adopted the darkness I was born into.
What he likes to do is he likes to capture it and not do ADR, which there are some scenes where it's like, bro, just do some ADR. Like, get over yourself.
Overly pretentious there.
But also there's like times where, yeah, you really won't be able to hear somebody, but there's times where you need to hear what the dude's saying. In Tenet, there's one, they're on a sailboat and it's like super windy.
Still haven't seen that movie.
And he's like says something. I'm like, I don't care what unless all you have is your center channel speaker on, all the sound. I mean, vocals, they're not horrible. You got TV speakers, you got a sound bar. Like, yeah, it's not the best. Like, dialogue's not just like, doesn't matter how much money you have in a system. If a sound mix has got something like a sound effects lower than the music, it doesn't matter how much you spend on your audio. It's not gonna sound right. But it's not that bad. But if you're like my mom, she's got a TV in a corner with rear firing speakers on a TV. Yeah, you can't hear like dialogue for shit, like in anything. Like if there's any type of like action and stuff, yeah, it's very hard. Those little speakers bouncing off the back corner aren't gonna be able to do a good job. But if you have a proper surround setup with acoustic treatment, it's not that bad. But also the audio mix itself is phenomenal. Like Interstellar just sounds phenomenal. And like the sandstorm in near the beginning of the movie.
I mean, I don't have what you have, but I noticed how good that sounded in my little
Some of the best bass in any movie, in Tenet, and sometime in Interstellar's got some good shit. Like, yeah. But if you're listening on TV speakers, that makes it a lot harder, I will say. Even a sound bar, unless you get a Sonos, spend like $800.
You know how long it took me to understand that Christian Bale was saying, "I'm not wearing hockey pads."
What do you think he said?
I had no idea. I thought he said something about I'm not wearing a hockey mask.
Yeah,
I was like, "Is that some shit
I knew that right away."
I did not know
because the dudes were wearing hockey pads.
I got it, but it just didn't. I couldn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. I was like, "What the fuck is he saying?"
Also, Tenet gets better the more you watch it. I'm not wearing hockey
You're
pants.
not wearing a hockey mask. What is that? Is that some voodoo shit? I don't know.
Tenet is a really cool movie. Awesome visuals, amazing sound, but it's at times it's like it doesn't really make sense, but
Well, you
just
could say
gotta
that
go with
about
it.
a lot of Chris Nolan movies.
You just gotta go with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool idea. All right, they're doing a big battle. Group A is in standard time. Group B is in reverse. When the people in reverse aren't moving backwards, so it's like, but when they see each other, they look like they're moving back like in opposite directions. Doesn't really make sense because they're like, B's going to be starting at the end of the battle, and Group A is starting at the beginning of the battle, and then we'll meet. They'll cross paths, and I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. And actually, like
There's gonna be holes.
maybe my brain just can't process that. But what would the group who are there at the
No, you
end
think
of the
your
battle?
brain can't process it. You start questioning yourself. Am I just not? No. Chris Nolan and his brother Jonathan are really good at coming up with these concepts, but if you really start to dig into them, the Prestige and his first fucking movie,
Memento.
Memento, you would start to dig into them. You're like, that doesn't really make sense, but I'll rock with it. Yeah. So
Yeah, because starting
that's
at the
just-
end of the battle, but to them they're moving forward, but it looks like they're moving backwards. And I'm like, that. What are they doing? They're going through the battle in reverse. That doesn't make any sense. But it sounds good in the movie. It makes sense in the movie.
Yeah. It works. Inception.
it's
All
visually-
that shit works in the movie, but
Yeah,
starts to really-
Inception. I honestly, Inception to me,
You think it's solid. You think there's no holes?
I wouldn't say there isn't any holes, but at the same time, when I first watched it, I just got it. Like, I was there. I understood these.
I got it, but I was like,
Some people are like, I didn't understand it. I'm like, yeah, there were 3 layers deep. Like, you were just seeing each layer, and to me, it was clear. Like, and they had to sync up the whole fall. They created the fall. Like, the further in you went, the more time you had. So, like, a second in the real world was like an hour or 10 minutes, and then the next layer it was times 10 again, and it was just like,
yeah, it's based in like real. What's that shit called? The science of that. I can't think right now.
but the time
psych-
thing in Interstellar.
It's like, no, it's not right.
That time jump in Interstellar, like even the most what do you want to call it, aggressive theories, it would have been like, instead of aging, what was it, like 23 years, they said it was 7 years for whatever time frame, half hour, 20 minutes. It says at best the difference before and after might be like a few minutes. Like,
Yeah.
he made it 23 years. They said it might have been a few minutes. He really exaggerated that time thing by a black hole. He says, like,
But in the concept and the setup of the movie, it makes sense and it works.
Yeah.
Right. So
Without
that's what matters the most.
without that jump, the movie doesn't have, like, they don't really have a good ending at that point.
Right.
You know? Because I was like, he came out of the black hole. Why is his daughter? Oh, why wasn't it back before he went in? And I was like, oh wait, that's because that happened after they went down to that planet and lost 23 years. I forgot about that. So I thought I caught like a huge loop, a huge hole, and I was like, wait a minute, no, they had already lost 23 years or whatever, and then he probably lost more.
I'm laughing at Ayers' comment. It's just got me. My gosh.
Which one?
The ending of Interstellar is Pete spinning marbles in his ass. Good stuff.
Where did you say that?
Oh, you don't see it?
Mm-mm.
It's like the second to last one or comment.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? What the hell? That's weird.
I see.
It's like sketches of harmony is like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love a grandfather paradox, and then he's right above that, and at least on my screen he is. So
Ayers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one he says he uses big words and confuses people. His narratives are high concept. And
well,
then,
this is weird. This is a paradox. You can't see his comment. I'm looking right at it.
Huh.
That's weird.
yeah, it's not on my screen, so it's not.
I'm gonna hold on. Let me inception this shit. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
It says persons of interest got really complex, cool show. Gotta love a grandfather paradox. Or last two.
It's right there. But that's weird.
It's in between Person of Interest and Gotta Love a Grandfather Paradox.
Gotta love a grandfather paradox is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ezra's comment is right here, and it says the ending of Interstellar is Peak spinning marbles in his asshole.
Yeah, that's not.
Wow, that's weird.
All right.
We
Well,
have Inception, folks.
it's
We
crazy.
have Inception.
Anyway, we're gonna end it here. So I don't know where Terrell is. Maybe
Somewhere else.
Yeah, he's not here. Hope everybody had a good New Year in 2026. Really, not to like extend this in. I don't have like too many games that I know about that I'm super excited. Resident Evil Requiem. I'm intrigued by the From Software game, but I'm worried that it's gonna be more of an online focus type thing. Other than that, I don't know if there's a 2026 game that I'm like.
Fable for me. Is Gears this year or maybe next year?
Yeah, I don't know if they said.
Halo is this year. I'm interested to see how that turns out, although I'm not overly excited about it.
I know Nintendo's got that Yoshi game.
Mario. I mean, yeah, Yoshi. Some people don't like the art style, which I was like, oh, really?
I like it. I think it's one of the best looking Nintendo games.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Mario is definitely coming this year. We don't know. We don't have a solid anything on it, but it's definitely going to be this year. And whatever they're going to do something for Zelda. A lot of people are talking back that double pack again.
dude, I have a meme of that.
Have you not seen Nintendo lately? Double pack for how much?
160.
$100?
160.
Right, like that. Yeah, double pack.
I got a funny meme for the Zelda. I'll send it in the group chat.
If they released a double pack at, let's say, well, I guess, I mean, they're not gonna do that. They're just not gonna do it. They just put out Galaxy for
Galaxy
what is
2,
it,
right?
$40 each? Galaxy 1 and 2, $40 each.
So here's a meme about the double pack. I sent it in our group chat. It's pretty funny.
It's a legend of $40 double pack. Can
All
you
right.
see that one, Juice?
Yeah, I see it. But anyway, we'll see you guys. Maybe next week. Maybe take a week off if there's not much going on. So, but anyway.
No news.
Well, we'll see you guys whenever.
Peace.
And then abruptly.
Yay.
Oh, I didn't change the photo. It's the same as last week, the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I better do